मेरा पिता, तू है मेरा माता, तू मेरा बंधप, तू मेरा भ्राता, तू मेरा राखा, सबनी थाई तापो के हा काड़ा जियो, तुमरी कृपा ते तुद पछाना, तू मेरी ओट, तू है मेरा माना, तुझ बिन दूजा अवर न कोई, सब तेरा खेल अखाड़ा जियो.
Welcome seekers to today's spiritual satsang titled, Many are called, Few are chosen. I have with me East Asia's main speaker, who is an advanced spiritual practitioner and also a disciple of a perfect living master. Moving on to the very first topic. According to Ishwarji, and I think this thing about list A and list B started with Ishwarji during one of his talks. And according to Ishwarji, there's a list A and list B of marked souls for a perfect living master. Can you briefly explain to us what is list A and B?
Yes. According to Ishwarpuriji, he mentioned about the marked soul list, right? And on that marked soul list, meaning people who mark to get initiation by a perfect living master. So they are marked soul. And in that marked soul, he divided into list A and list B. List A is the one who, or the disciple who get initiation from master, from a perfect living master, and go back home to the our true home or Sachkhand in the same lifetime with the same master that initiate them. So that's on the list A. And the list B is the one might get initiation from a perfect living master, but not going back the same lifetime with the same master. They might go back to our true home, Sachkhand, in another lifetime, or they get initiation later from different master and go back with that master. So also on list B, it doesn't mean that that soul get initiation from a perfect living master. Sometimes master only give darshan or trishti. When master look at them or they look at the master, they also get marked to be on the list B for the future master to come and give them initiation, whether in this lifetime or in the next lifetime. But they guarantee human life. So they're not gonna born as animal anymore. They're not gonna born as plant anymore. They guarantee, as master give them darshan and trishti, they will guarantee to be human for the next 10 lifetime. If they have chance to see the physical master and feel something inside them, or master look at them, and connect them, give them blessing, show them kindness or love, then yes, they get marked to be on the list B. So normally list B will be very large, very big, but list A will be small. And list A is also depend on each and everyone who have affinity with the master. So people on the list A, I would say that whoever get initiation and be put on the list A, that one go back with their final master, because only final master will take them home, will show them the kingdom of God, will bring that one to Sachkhand. But if people come to perfect living master, but that master is not their final master, naturally they've been put on list B. Even they also give chance for initiation, become disciple of that one, right? In the case of Ishwapuriji, for example, right? Or a great master, for example. So anyone that get initiation from great master, they also have boon from Baba Jamal Singh. Because let me tell you the story again about how great master become master. During the time of Baba Jamal Singh, when he appointed a great master to take on his seva from Swamiji Maharaj. So he said, on that day, there's 14 people present. And Baba Jamal Singh closed his eye and opened his eye and saying that new march has come. And that march is Swan Singh will carry on the work from me for the work for my master, the seva for my master. And then great master at that time, Swan Singh, right? Swan Singh said, why is me? There's many people present here are more qualified than me. There are 14 people here. Why is me? So Baba Jamal Singh checked again. He closed his eye and he opened his eye. He said, new march has come. Swamiji said that it has to be Swan Singh only to carry on this work. So that was the first condition that great master get when he has appointed to become a master. The second one was Swan Singh's asking, Master, you live in a small hut. You know, for me, growing up, I live in a big house. I can't live in a small hut like you. And then Baba Jamal Singh also closed his eye again and saying that new march has come. So the march this time is Swan Singh will live in a big house, will have big house, just like his one, here, in this place, in this dera. And the third march, also Swan Singh was asking, Master, I only have very small pension after my retirement. How can I feed all the people that mark to come? Then Baba Jamal Singh saying that new march has come, and this new march is Swan Singh will have enough to feed all the people who mark to come to him, and he don't need to pay from his own pocket, from his own pension. And the fourth one was Great Master or Swan Singh that time was asking, Master, you mentioned about 4 lifetime that anyone get initiation from a perfect living master, they will spend 4 lifetime to go back to their eternal home, true home in Sachkhand. I don't want to come back. But then Jamal Singh also said that the new march for Swan Singh is that whoever get initiation from Swan Singh will make it in one lifetime. So that's 4, right? 4 things that Jamal Singh told to Great Master. So on that, right, I mentioned about the list A. So whoever get Great Master initiation from Great Master himself, from Ishwapuriji himself, that's the promise that they're gonna make it in one lifetime. So whoever gets a Great Master initiation definitely put on list A. But there's a catch. Ishwapuriji also said there are a list A plus and list A. Do you know what the difference between list A plus and list A?
No. Tell us what's the difference.
Yeah. The list A plus is the people who get initiation from Great Master initiation. I mean from Great Master himself, Ishwapuriji, and also the people who carry on this Great Master mission. The list A plus mean that person go back in the same lifetime. They only get initiation and go back home in this human lifetime, in the same lifetime that they get initiation this time. This is list A plus. List A mean they get initiation from this Great Master initiation. But as they on list A, the master that initiate them has to be the final master. But they might not practice sufficient enough to explain properly love and devotion to the master. So they can't raise their awareness to such kind yet in their human form in this lifetime. So they will have to continue inside, like in astral level or in the causal level. But master will be there with them to give them education, to teach them there inside. So they doesn't need to come back to another human life. They will come back with the same lifetime, but maybe have to do a little bit work in this astral level or the causal level. And then when they reach Parbrahm, master pull them directly from Parbrahm to Sachkhand. So it's what I mean in the list A and the list A plus.
So besides list A and B, are there also any more lists? Maybe a list C or a D?
Yes, there can be extension of list B. You know, if I can categorize, I would say that there will be no list C, but I would say there will be list B plus and list B. So let me explain to you again about the list B plus and list B. So whoever not going back with the same master that initiate them, they will be put on list B, right? But there's also the difference between list B and list B plus. Let me explain the list B plus first. List B plus is the one who get initiation from master already, from a perfect living master, meaning a Satguru or Param Satguru. And these people will also come back in another lifetime, right? For maybe 1 more lifetime, 2 more lifetime, maximum 4 lifetime to get another initiation from their final master and go back to Sachkhand through home. But the list B The least B might be the people that master look at them and they feel something, but their karma is such they cannot come to get initiation yet from any perfect living master. Master only giving darshan to them, give trishti at them, but they didn't have chance to get any initiation or erase their karma yet. So for these people, it will take them maximum 10 lifetime to come back and get proper initiation next time. But it also mean, one master mark them and another master in same lifetime give them initiation is also possible. Like Lisby of one perfect living master can forward to another perfect living master to be their list A. Do you understand? So that's slightly different between list B plus and list B, because list B plus will make it in 4 lifetime maximum. But only list B will make it in 10 lifetime.
How does one get marked?
The marking mostly, right, and always happen in such kind. Because when the soul decide to participate this play of this creation, the soul have to buy like insurance, right? They have to make some promise with God, with Satpurush before they come into this creation. So therefore, in order for the soul to make their way back to Sachkhand, go back to their father, the Satpurush, they have to be marked. And that mark has to be done only in Sachkhand. But the funny thing is that perfect living master can also adding up marked soul in their list as they are here in the physical with us. Because perfect living master, they have awareness of such kind. They have the awareness that operate every level at the same time. So they can mark the soul in this physical level. And by doing that, it's as if it has been done in such kind previously as well. Because in such kind, there's no time, no space, no causation. So anything can be done by Master Wish. If Master wish to mark any new soul and add up on list A or even list B, he can do that. Sometimes Master even mark the soul that is not in the physical. Because Master operate at every level at the same time. If sometime astral being have chance to come and get darshan from a perfect living master, because master happen to be in their area, happen to come in touch with their level or their so-called their land, legion or dimension. So on that, they come and get darshan from a perfect living master. And at that time, they also has been marked. And most of them will be on list B. But some of them that, already will grant a human life soon, they might even come into list A. So the marking can also happen on astral level, on causal level as well. That's why initiate, right? As initiate, as disciple of perfect living master, we know very little about what master actually can do and what he actually doing as his inner work.
Does master mark a soul first and pick the soul later, or does both marking and picking happen simultaneously?
Mm. In this time and space, right? In this physical level, we would say that the marking process and the pick up process happen in different time. But as marking happen, the pick up has to be done, right? On this level. Marking can happen in the previous 10 lifetime back. And in the next 10 lifetime, you happen to get initiation and right away put on the list A or even list A plus to go back home, same lifetime from master. So you can say that, okay, masking can happen previously 10 lifetime back, 4 lifetime back, and the pick up happened now in this lifetime. You can say like that. But in Sachkhand, in our true home, from master awareness, from the Satguru's point of view, the marking and the pick up happen at the same time. Because when master marked some soul to come back, he already pulled that soul back to Sachkhand at that time. But for us, we still need time and space to operate and come to realize that when master marked our soul, our journey has ended. There's no more effort needs to be done from our part. So when anyone get darshan from a perfect living master or even Trishti, when master look at them, it's very powerful because at that time, they all already been given true salvation.
At the soul level, there is no time. So the question is, how is marking done without time?
Yes, at the soul level, there's no time, is correct. And the marking will always happen beyond time and space. Because marking happen at the great system, not in the karmic system. In this karmic system, we still have time and space, causation, right? Because it's within this karmic realm. But in the soul realm, from Parbrahm and beyond, that's where great system happen. And the marking definitely happen in the great system. Because the only one that can mark you has to have authority of Satguru. The one who is the highest authority, the ruler of Sachkhand, our true home. And any master that lesser than that doesn't have the authority of Satguru, he or she cannot mark anyone, cannot mark any soul. Let's say, if you get initiation from Satguru, Sadguru with the D, right? The master of the third level, the master from Parbrahm. They don't have authority to mark the soul, but they can actually guiding you and put you on the spiritual journey toward back to your true home. Sometimes they can see the marking, they can see that this one will be given liberation or true salvation in the future. So they are there to assist you. But the one who actually gonna pull you back from this illusion to your true home is a perfect living master, a Satguru, Sat with T.
What happens to the list B if the master leaves the body and they don't get initiated in the current life?
I already explained about this list B, right? Sometimes list B will take up to 10 lifetime, but they guarantee as to become human, to born human for the next 10 lifetime. And in between that 10 lifetime, they might get another darshan from the perfect living master, which gonna fast forward the process of getting initiation. Because when you come to see a perfect living master, even attend for satsang, knowingly, unknowingly, your karma get cleansed. And by cleansing of that karma, master pull that soul to get initiation quicker. So, for example, during that 10 lifetime, you happen to attend satsang, you happen to see a saint, that have awareness of every level at the same time, as a saint that have a Satpurush awareness. Then you get another darshan. So you might get initiation on your 6th lifetime, on the 5th lifetime even. And on that, if that one had been put on list A, then that one will go back home in the same lifetime with that future master.
What happens if you're on list A but you don't get initiated and then the master leaves the body? Will this ever happen?
Yes. Very, very rare though, in very rare case. For example, if master have a family member and that family member cannot see beyond the physical, but also live in the same house, get darshan every day, get trishti every day. Subconsciously, they know there's something special with this one, in the family, but they don't know what it is. They has been ignored, that, don't know what this person up to, but that family member happened to be a perfect living master. Because the love connection in the karmic realm is very strong. Maybe at the time of passing, master have mercy, right? On their deathbed, master have mercy to be next to them, right? And then reveal his or her true self to that relative that has been whole life serving the master. But they didn't know who master really is, because sometimes too close connection, it can be hindrance for this spiritual part, for this spiritual progress. So on their deathbed, they happen to realize who the real form of the perfect living master in that human. So right away, they had been pulled back to Sachkhand at that moment before their passing. So that one doesn't need to attend to initiation ceremony. They don't need to, practice meditation like us, because in one moment, if master wish to, master can pull that soul back to true home right away from very close connection. There also the case that somebody very, very sincere, with the master, but didn't have chance to see master in the physical form, or even having a chance to see, but only from distance, from far away, and didn't have chance to come and ask for initiation. But if that person pray and in his or her heart, every time thinking of the master, and that feeling becomes so intense that on their last moment of their life, on their last thought, they spend that thought on master. Master will present himself or herself in radiant form, to pick them up, and will be put them maybe on astral plane and causal plane to learn a little bit more, and then after that lifetime on astral plane, on astral level, or on the causal level, master pull them back from there to Sachkhand. So that's also possible. So I said to you, list A, that not given initiation, also possible to the love connection, very intense love connection. It can also give them to salvation.
Can one get marked wrongly? Is this even possible?
No. God cannot do mistake. If it's a mistake, He turned it to be right. So this thing cannot be wrong. It just maybe master wish to add up, add that person on the list. So you can say, oh, master did it wrongly on the physical plane, because we think, oh, on physical level, this person is really bad, right? Why master give this person chance? From our level, we can say, oh, master, you did a mistake. But from God level, right? From the highest authority, there's never been a mistake, because like Ishwapuriji always said, that there's no failure on this part. Master always turn the mistake to be right.
What if you listen to a satsang by a perfect living master but choose not to get initiated? Are you eventually going to be picked by a master in the future?
Definitely, because it means that that person has been marked and has been put on the list already. Because yes, you can also get darshan, from master video, or even get trishti from master live stream, because at that time master is also spend his or her attention on that video, right? And you also watch that video. On that, like in this internet time, right? In this internet era, master giving darshan online as well in the internet. When you attend to master live stream, then yes, many people, you can say, get marked at that time, and the pick up process will happen later on.
What if you are on list A but didn't make it to your true home in this life? What happens then?
Yeah, like I said to you from the first question answer, master can put that one, in like a special training camp, I would say, for seva. So they continue to do seva for master inside, in astral plane, or in the causal plane. There's many level in astral level, and many more level in causal level. So because master operate at every level at the same time, so master continue the journey with that one that has been marked on list A, but they will have to learn more or even do seva more in astral plane for master. And when master see that, okay, they have the right attitude, their love become more intense, their devotion has become perfect, then master pull them back to Sachkhand from there.
Okay, this next question, very interesting. What if you are initiated by 2 or more masters? Which list are you on?
Yes. So you can be either on list B, both. If they're not your final master, right? You can get initiation from countless master. I have a chance even meet a guy that he get initiation from 9 master. 9. right? But he said that, only when he get initiation from Ishvapuriji, then he can make a proper progress. Then he can understand what is the part of love and devotion. Because he has been poor with Ishvapuriji love, that is more intense if he compare to other of his 8 master. So he said to me, he can know that Ishvapuriji is his final master. So in this case, this guy on list A of Ishvapuriji and on list B of other 8 master.
As more souls enter the creation from true home, will the list be ever present, or will it get shorter or longer?
The list already very big, very large, From what I believe, all the perfect living master, they share list B. Because list B belong to everyone, right? And list A, it's more, individual. So when one perfect living master came into this creation, and they came with a list. What I mean, when they came with the list, they came holding list A. But the list B is already there with Satpurush. It's already there with God. So every master, if they are perfect living master, the son Satguru, they will have access to this list B. And inside, they're working together to pull list B closer and closer for the time of initiation and for the time of salvation. So I would say list B is very, very big, but list A is in limited number. And only the master that carry that list know how big or how small the list A is. Because list B can extend into astral plane, causal plane, or even in Param. The beings there has been marked for initiation. But because they didn't been granted of a human physical life yet, they are waiting, in causal plane, in astral plane, in Param, just to come down in this physical and meet with the physical master to get initiation and activate the list A.
What happens if all the list A and B becomes empty and all the souls have been already marked or initiated? What happens then?
Then the dissolution will come. Pala, or even Mahapala, the grand dissolution will come. If all the list has been fulfilled, there's nobody to be saved. Then, it's end the purpose of this play of divine, the play of consciousness. It's end its purpose. So the destruction will come, the grand dissolution will come.
Has this Mahaparale or grand dissolution ever happened or has happened?
It has happened many times, and it's due to happen many more times. But it's not for human to know. It's only for the Satpurush to know, because he's also the ruler of the highest heaven, right? Our true home. So it's his job to decide and make that happen. And when I say decide, it's not happen in the time or space. It happened in no time and no space and no causation.
Are humans the only creation qualified to be on the list? Or can another sentient being be also marked and put on the list?
Yes, I already answered that. Yes, because according to Ishwar Puri, right, he said that in many worlds, they're also a humanoid, human-like form, but they may also making of light, just like we are carbon-based being, right? They are maybe silica-based being. So their form is made of light. And they don't eat food like us. They consume light. They have energy directly from the sun, right? But on that being, sometimes Master consider them as human. Why? Because firstly, they have some kind of physical body, but is less dense, have less density than our human body right now. And also, the second thing is that they also have free will. They have free will to choose. So they fall in the category of human being. So because they are also human being, but not the way that we understand, they also can be marked and put on the list, just like us, just like the human on earth right now.
Do we have, or do humans have free will on other alien planets too? Do other planets have PLMs too? Or do aliens have to be born as humans on Earth to get initiated by a human PLM?
Yes, many planets, they live in humanoid form, just like us. But the way their body made is different according to their environment, Like I said, sometimes they born from the silica base, not a carbon base like us. And yes, they have free will. So they can choose to go back home, to go back to God, just like us. So because they also have free will and in humanoid form, so they also can be granted to be on the list, can be marked, can have salvation just like us. But unfortunately, some planet doesn't have a PLM, doesn't have perfect living master, because it's, it requires a lot of accumulate of spiritual merit on one planet in order to have a perfect living master. In very, very olden time, many planets that have humanoid form with free will, God sent God representative there as a perfect living master. But they might mess it up. For example, kill the master, crucify the master, and also manipulate the teaching. So less and less perfect living master born in their planet, or even none, because everybody forget and they don't do their spiritual practice. They don't think of God anymore, and their advancement is that, they advance in technology, and their ego and their mind, is at really high level. So therefore, perfect living master will not be born in such planet. Firstly, it's harmful for physical perfect living master. And secondly, because the accumulation of the spiritual merit is very less. So therefore, those beings will have to travel to this earth even to get darshan from a perfect living master here, and to get mark from here in this physical, but they might appear to a perfect living master in dream or in meditation to get that kind of darshan and be put on the B list or even an A list. A list means they ask master to be born in the physical. Sometimes they can join the human, already human, the disciple of a perfect living master that have affinity with them. Because sometimes the soul of the very high intelligent being like that is very light. They can join in light form into the physical body that is already here in the physical level. I might say very controversial point. You can find out more later on, but now this is the only thing I can say to you now. But yes, it's possible that the other being, the other kind of human from different planet come to get initiation in the physical form. Yes, it's possible.
That's it for today's satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for spending time with us for this satsang. If you want more information about ISTA Asia, please go to www.istaasia.com. You can also subscribe to our newsletter and email us any inquiries you may have regarding spirituality. You can also send your questions to seek.istaasia.com. Thank you for listening.